Hi guys, Paul here from Gold Coast Business Websites. I'm coming to you with another video tutorial. This one is a very important one. Backing up your website is the most important thing that you can do because simply anything can happen. The server that you're on might crash or it might get hacked or something like that. And to have access to a copy of your website that is on a local drive or even off on another server will make your life so much easier, I can tell you now. So this video is going to explain to you, the website owner, how to back up your own website. Now I'm going to go through two different ways. The first way is going to be through the manual process. So we're going to go into the cPanel, we're going to go into the file structure, and we're going to make a copy of all the files, and we're also going to go into the database and make a copy of the database. And we're going to do I'm going to take you through how to use FTP to take the files off your server in case you don't have enough room on your server to create a backup. The other way I'm going to show you, the second way I'm going to show you is using a plugin to do it. And it's going to be on a specific plugin, a premium plugin called BackUp Buddy that I use all the time, but I'm going to show you how to set it up so it's scheduled, and I'm going to also show you how to actually go through and take a actual local copy of it and download a copy of your website to your computer and possibly to another hard drive that you might have. It's always important to have at least 3 different backups because any one of those 3 can go down at any stage. Okay, let's get straight into it, shall we? So I've got a website here called knowledgebase.com that I am going to make a backup of. So the first way I'm going to make this backup is we're going to go into the cPanel. So I type in my address of my website at the top in the URL area. So knowledgebase.com, and then I'm going to put /cPanel, and that's going to get me access to my cPanel login. I'll put in my username and I'll put in my password and I'll log in. And you'll do this as well, or you could do this as well. So then I'm in the cPanel. So the first section we're going to go through is the file manager. And then the second area of this is we're going to actually go into the phpMyAdmin. So the first thing, we're going to go into File Manager, click on that. Okay, so we're going to go to the home directory. Actually, I didn't want to go there, but if you come in here, just click on the public HTML. So this is my whole website here. So I want to take a backup of this, of all the files here. This is the WordPress file base. So I'm going to go and select all, and then I'm going to go up to compress. So I'm going to click compress. Then I'm going to change the name, which comes up as CGI bin. I'm going to call it backup. I'll give it the date today as well, and the year, so then I know. So backup 17th of November 2014. So we're going to compress the files. So that basically just turns it into a zip file. Okay, so once that's done, I'll come up with compression results. I'll close that tab. And now you'll notice that there is a zip file now. So it's 11.56 megabytes. So if I want to download this, or I actually will want to download this because I want to keep it on my local drive, so I'll go up to download at the top here and click on download. And then go to my browser download section. As you can see, it's now downloading to my computer. And now it's on my computer in my downloads folder right there for me to put onto another hard drive if I need to, or more or less I will, but that's what you'll be doing as well. So that's just the file base for your website. Now, the second thing we need to do is we can actually delete that now once we go to backup, or you can keep it on there if you feel like it, but I like to just keep it clean. And there we go. So we can actually close that, get out of there, and we'll go back to our cPanel main page again. And we're now going to go down to phpMyAdmin. So we'll click on that. And then you should be taken to the phpMyAdmin panel here. So now I know that the database name for my website is right here. So knowledge B. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on that. All right, so I've done that. Now I want to go up to export. So now it says exporting tables from a knowledge B database. Okay, so I'm going to choose the quick display only the minimal options. The format is going to be SQL, so keep it in that. And then we're going to hit go. Then it asks me, do I want to save the file? Yes. I'm going to click save file and go OK. And again, the SQL file is now down here as well. So I've got the SQL file, which is basically all the data that's related to my website. It's all the pages, it's all the articles, it's all the content. It's everything to do with content, and all the links and everything that attribute to images are all in the database. So now I've got the most two important files here. So that's pretty much takes care of that. That's the backup process. That's the first manual process of backing up. It is the most laborious, but so if you're going to be doing this on a weekly basis, then it's you have to go in and do all that. It doesn't take long until you once you've sort of worked out a system, but there are other ways of doing it as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you through the second option of the manual process, which is through FTP. So same sort of thing, but this time we're not going to be doing a zip, because in the cases sometimes your website might be too big to be able to fit onto your host or your server. So when I did that zip, basically created a full copy of the website, about 11 megabytes, 12 megabytes in total. But what if you don't have that space on your server? What if you run out of space? Then you can't create a backup of your file structure because you simply don't have enough space on there. So your website's quite large. So what do we do there? Okay, so what we can do in this case is do the manual process of choosing an application called CyberDuck. I use CyberDuck quite a lot, and there's other variations of FTP programs out there, like FileZilla, if you're on a PC. But I pretty much use this for my Mac because it's really quite easy to use, and it's kind of reminds me of bath time when I had a rubber ducky when I was a kid. So yeah, anyway, all jokes aside, it's very serious indeed. So yeah, anyway, use whatever program that you're comfortable with, but CyberDuck's quite a good one. So come here, it's free to download for Windows and Mac. So yeah, it's a great program. So once you've got it, you'll need to know how to create an instance. So what I'm going to do is just go and open up CyberDuck. There we go, CyberDuck is now open. I'm going to go open connection. Now this is where I need to put in my FTP details. So you can actually use the same username and password settings that you've got to access your cPanel, because it primarily is an FTP account. So the first thing we need to do is FTP, then the address of the website, knowledgebase.com. Then I'm going to put in the account name and paste the password in, and we'll go connect. And of course it might come up saying unsecured FTP connection because it's not SSL, so we'll just continue on that. And there we go, we're in. So if I go into public HTML, which is where the files are, there is all the files right there. Highlight them all like that. and I'll go up to Action, and I'll go Download To, and I'll choose a folder. I'll put them into my downloads. I'll create a new one, so I'll call Backup. So it's a new folder, and then I'm going to go choose that folder. And of course, the transfer window appears. Again, it will come up with this unsecured FTP connection. I'll just continue on that. And what CyberDuck then does is it downloads all those files that I've got into the folder that I just created. So that's the, and then of course, you've got to go and do the database backup as well through the phpMyAdmin, which I explained to you in the first part of this video. So yeah, so once you got all the files, then on your computer, then that's a backup. Now this again can be quite laborious. So you know, you got to, if you're going to be doing this every sort of week or day or whatever, this is going to get quite a bit tedious having to do all this. I'm going to stop that because I don't need to do it anymore. So, but of course, if you have enough space on your server, then of course by means you can go in and do the zip version, which is what I explained. But the other version, the other way that I prefer to do it is using a plugin. So we're going to get out of CyberDuck, and we're now going to go into the backend of WordPress. So I'm going to go into the backend of my website, so knowledgebase.com/wp-admin to access the dashboard. I'm going to put in my username and password. Okay, so I'm in. So I'm in the backend here, and I'm going to use a plugin called Backup Buddy to create a backup of my website. So I don't have it installed on this website yet, but I'm going to go get it. So go to Plugins, Add New. I'm going to upload the plugin because it is a premium plugin. So I did buy it, and it does cost, I think, for a single license, it's it's $89 for a year on a single license, and then there's other variations as well. But just go to the website ithemes.com and then check out Backup Buddy. It's a really good plugin for making backups. Okay, so that's installed. I'll go to Activate Plugin, and now we've got Backup Buddy there. I might take the opportunity and go in and update my plugins as well. I've got 3 plugins there that are not updated, so I'll go in and do that. So yeah, backing up your website is very, very critical. You don't go into and buy a computer from a computer shop and expect them to do backups when you walk out and buy the computer. It is the onus is on you. Even though servers and hosting accounts do have backups, they will create like a weekly backup of your website. You cannot rely on that. So if something happens to the server, or if something happens to the company, then perhaps you'll lose your website along with all those supposed backups that they're doing. And of course, they will do they will do it, but you just can't rely on it. You've always got to have your own copy of your backup, which is an up-to-date version usually. So anyway, so I'm going to go down to backup. So we're using Backup Buddy for this. I'm going to go to backup. Okay, so here we go. Of course, it's going to ask me the setup process. So here I go. Just where do you want to send your backups? So it's going to go to local only. You can choose other areas, so you can send them to other places like email or FTP. We can actually set up a schedule for this. I'm going to actually do that manually. Passwords do not match, but they are the same. There we go. So we'll do that. Save those settings, and it's backing up. It's backed up the database, and now it's zipping up the files. It's done that. It's having a look at the integrity, and then of course it's cleaning up and doing all sorts of stuff. It's a really great plugin, very easy to use. So now that I've done that, so I've run a manual backup using Backup Buddy, but see how easy it was? And basically what that does is it actually houses the files and the database in one zip file. It's really amazing. So you don't have to do what I did before by going into the file manager and doing all of that and going into database and exporting out SQL. This plugin does it all for you, which is fantastic. So now I can just simply download backup file. And of course, that's just going to download the file. So this is what you should do. Come in, run a backup, do it every week, and do a manual backup like this, just so that it's safe, and then you've got a copy on your computer. So there it is, there's my copy right there, which is fantastic. Alright, the other thing that we need to do is we need to get the restore migrate script. So we'll download import buddy PHP, we'll give it a password, and we'll go OK, and we'll save that. So now we've got the import buddy PHP script and the backup, and what I'll do is I'll just delete those and I'll move that and that into the same folder. So I've basically got those particular files right there. And what I usually do with the import buddy script, I put the password into that area, into the actual file itself. So if you have to restore the website from backup, then we know what the password is to do that. So that's that. Now I'm going to go down and create a schedule for this backup. So I'm going to call this weekly full backup, and of course complete backup full, it's going to be weekly, and I'll set it at a time. I always set it to 11:59 p.m. and there we go. I'll add the schedule. So basically what that's going to do is the backup will take a backup, the Backup Buddy plugin will take a backup of the website and the database every week forever until I end the schedule. So it does it automatically. I don't even have to think about it. So I don't even have to come in and do the backups. All I will then want to do is come into restore migrate, and then come in and just download the file that it creates. So every week you might have a system where you come in and you just take a backup, or you just download the backup file after it's automatically backed up for you. So that's pretty much it, really. So there is a little bit more to it, like remote destinations. You can send the backup off to Dropbox, and Dropbox version 2, and you can even send it to emails and other directories and stuff like that. You can even send it to another server that you have. But they're probably good for another tutorial, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, so what you've learnt today is you've learnt the two basic processes of backing up your website. So the first one was manually. So I went through the cPanel way, the manual way of going through the file manager and getting all the file structure into a zip file, downloading that zip file to the computer, and then going into the phpMyAdmin and doing an export on the database. So then we got an SQL file for the database. Then I went in and did an FTP process, and we use that because maybe your or the website server is full and we don't have enough room to create a zip file. And then the second version is using a plugin called Backup Buddy to set up manual, to be able to do it manually, but to also set up schedules so that you don't even have to think about it. But do keep in mind that your Backup Buddy backups, if they do go to the server, they will take up space. They will remove space. So there is a section under settings where you can limit limit the number of local backups to keep. So I'll change that to 5 and I'll save that. And then that will just retain 5 backups for me, so the last 5 backups. And then when it reaches the most the backup that's the most oldest, it will override it with the newest. So you'll always have the latest 5 backups, or you can set it to 10 or whatever. Just depends on how much space you've got. So that's it. Now, if you do have any questions, please ask them in the comments below, or contact me. I do have a monthly maintenance service where I do look after your backups for you, and I do offer off-site backups as well, and also website restore, just in case your website does get hacked or something does happen to it, I can restore it. And I've got various monthly packages for that, so you can check out my website, goldcoastbusinesswebsites.com.au, and you can just go and click on the website maintenance tab, and that page will explain the different packages that I've got for monthly maintenance. So, which includes, not only backups, but doing plugin updates and themes and all, just making sure your website runs smoothly on a monthly basis. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and again, I look forward to seeing you in future videos.